Next, I want to invite up Ambassador Anton Vasiliev, senior Arctic official for the Russian Federation, who has been with us these 3 days and an active participant in many Arctic dialogues. And I know that energy is certainly a priority, too, for his nation. Mr. Ambassador.
Prime Minister Gunn Laukson, Your Excellencies, dear colleagues and friends, I would like to congratulate the organizers, sponsors, and all participants of the conference with its success. It was a very good beginning of the Arctic Week in Iceland. We have informed each other of our assessments of the state of affairs of development of the Arctic energy resources, of our achievements, our problems, and our proposals in this regard. All this was informative, useful, and very, very constructive. Changes in the Arctic make its energy resources relatively more accessible, hence the interest of the Arctic states and the world to the energy potential of the High North. And no doubt this interest will only continue to grow. But Arctic energy, first of all oil and gas, is very challenging, and we all need to find the right balances between the interests of business, ecology, and peoples of the North, between the interest of today and the interest of tomorrow. And to my mind, the conference was very important in this respect, suggesting new arguments, thoughts, and ideas that we shall bring back home and factor into our domestic policy and decision-making process. I also think that we can use some ideas, many actually ideas expressed at this conference in our expanding and very successful international cooperation in the Arctic. First of all, among the Arctic states and within the framework of the Arctic Council. Arctic Union, we shall think about it. It's good to have a dream. Dreams move things forward. As I already said in my presentation, in Russia we see that the stage of simple apprehension of the changes in the Arctic and its drivers has been passed already, although we shall of course still need to develop further scientific research here. But now we are entering into a new stage, a stage of practical deeds in the Arctic. We are beginning to act nationally and in cooperation with our partners to practically use the new opportunities that open up with the climate and other changes in the Arctic and to withstand the new challenges. At the recent major conference on oil and gas in the Russian Arctic in St. Petersburg, the leaders of the Russian energy sector gave a very impressive picture of the Russian plans to explore and extract oil and gas in the Arctic offshore of the Russian Federation. For the period of 20 years, just imagine, from 2010 to 2030, total investments into offshore oil and gas projects in the Russian Arctic may exceed $500 billion United States dollars. Investments into related industries and businesses may exceed $300 billion US dollars. The total effect of these investments may result in additional 3% growth of the total Russian GNP and creation additional revenues of the state budget because of that can grow to the amount of 1.3 trillion US dollars. And we are also speaking here about creation of more than 300,000 new jobs, just the population of Iceland. And as you know, the first oil from the ice-covered Russian Arctic offshore is expected somewhere next month. Together with the more active use of the Northern Sea route, this would bring about a major boost to economic and social progress of the Russian Arctic and the circumpolar world in general. And we shall, of course, explore and produce our Arctic oil and gas in an environmentally and socially responsible way, together with the expansion of clean and renewable energy resources. But we should not be afraid of progress. We can't stop it. But we must act responsibly. And this is yet another conclusion from this conference. So I'm absolutely sure that not only this is not the first, but this is also not the last Arctic Energy Summit. Finally, I would like to thank the town of Akureyri for its hospitality. It is really a pleasure to come here again and again. And I hope that maybe in not so distant future, with the success of Iceland, of exploration of its continental shelf, which we heard about at this conference, Akureyri will become not only the Arctic capital of Iceland, but also its oil and gas capital. Thank you.